Good afternoon. Stan and myself are the co-founders of Teleported. It's a pleasure to be here at LeWeb again and to be pitching in front of you this afternoon. We are software as a service for real-time search and delivery of public mobile photos. That is to say, photos that are taken with a smartphone and posted to a public social network such as Instagram, Twitter, or one of the 14 platforms that we currently index. Smartphoneography, the ability to take a picture and post it live with rich metadata, is a revolution in data creation and information gathering that we want to harness. We want to make it incredibly easy for our customers to search for, select, and use the photos that are coming as a stream in our database. And it's a lot of photos. It's more than 200 per second on peak rate. We really believe that every single consumer-facing website on the planet will use relevant and recent social photos to enhance their customers' experience with photos that those customers can believe and relate to. By making all this content searchable in a unique and curated database that is growing by more than 6 million new photos every day, we're solving the problems faced by media, events, and brands, big or small. Imagine being a journalist in Brazil having to cover Greek elections without anybody in the ground. You can tell a very different crowdsourced story. Or being the Euro and wanting to give the fans' point of view of what it's like to be in Ukraine. Or for a brand, being able to pick up meaningful and powerful photos to share with other customers in real time. We have two main products. Our API, which we launched in beta on the 7th of March. We now have more than 220 developers signed up to it, building projects such as geo-based newspapers or innovative marketing events. Our user-friendly interface called Capsules is the easiest way, we believe, to find, select, and display and push on the web those photos in real time. It's still in restricted beta, but we'll be opening it up during the web, so feel free to visit teleporter.com and sign up. You should be receiving invites very soon. So, time for a demo.
Okay, I would like to show you what a capsule looks like. So very easily, just imagine that I am LeWeb and I want to display cool recent photos to my visitors to engage them. All I have to do is to embed a plugin on my website, like I would embed a video on YouTube. Here it is, and it's empty right now. And then I would log in into my capsule management UI and start a search. So let's say I want to search, so I can search by keywords, location, or time period. So let's say I'm starting searching for LeWeb. Okay, here we go, cool photos. And then maybe I'm gonna add this one. I'm kind of narcissistic, right? And then go for location. So it's the Methodist.
Central Hall, I think.
Yeah, Central Westminster. And here you go, you've got the same pictures, only the geo-tagged one. So I'm gonna add a few other ones as a community manager. All I have to do now is go back to my website. Sorry, here you go. And just hit refresh. And all those cool photos have been embedded on the website can be created live.
One of the customers we're really proud to be working with right now is Yoko Ono. 45 years ago, she dreamt of making a movie of 7 billion people smiling. Now, technologically, that was a bit hard back then, but now we're powering an experience that allows anybody on Earth to upload their photo to her artistic project. It launched in New York yesterday, and we have to say we were just as thrilled on the revenue side as we were on the artistic result. Our business model is fairly simple. We charge a subscription fee based on usage for professionals of our products, the API and Capsules, and when licenses are necessary to the use of the photos, we take a commission when they're generated through our platform. We believe we're entering a blue ocean market rather than anything else. Incumbent players such as stock photo players are making great revenues, some in excess of $1 billion per year, but they're at a risk of cannibalizing their own business by looking at crowdsourced content too rapidly. Players such as Google Images are aggregating a very, very different content. It's web content versus app content, and the application of the web is something that Google can't really handle that well. So we know of competitors looking at the space in the same way we are. They are young startups, funded, but we see their existence more as a validation of our vision than a risk to our future success. We're a team of 6. Both co-founders share experience in California at Stanford, and the rest of the team is just filled and packed with talent. And we're currently fundraising, although we are fortunate enough to have the backing of Seed Camp and American Angels already. A picture says it better than 1,000 words, but we believe that very soon people are going to be expecting pictures they can believe, pictures they can trust and relate to. And we want to serve the websites that get that fast. Thank you very much, and we look forward to your questions.
Thank you very much. Start with you, Andrew. Your thoughts and questions.
Nice pitch. Well done. And you're right, pictures do tell 1,000 words. I guess my question is, why would somebody pay for crowdsourced or the use of getting crowdsourced pictures when they could? There are other ways of finding these kinds of things. And what's your experience with that?
So there are two problems. One is access to the photos, and the second one is licensing that content when it's needed. And I don't think we have the time to go into the details of fair use and how that content can and is sometimes abusively used on the internet. But getting access to those photos across multiple platforms in real time is actually not that easy. And we're one of the only players we know of that can give access across platforms in real time and host that data and make it available back in time also. So it's not that easy to go to Twitter search and get the same content that what we're talking about.
And I guess one follow-up question is, I guess your search is dependent on the amount of metadata or tagging that the user puts on. I mean, how do you incentivize people for the right amount of data along with their photo?
Yep. The two things. First of all, yes, you're completely right. We do rely on the metadata, the GPS, the hashtags, the keyword, etc. And that's a trend that's progressing. People are willingly putting more and more metadata on a lot of their content. It's something that they had no idea what it meant months ago, and now people are voluntarily placing extra hashtags. The second thing is that we actually are actively tagging the photos ourselves. We have clustering algorithms that can detect events based on spike activities in photos and can infer the actual tags that should be on photos even when they're not placed by the authors, so we can make those photos more searchable.
Arik?
Yeah, same. I thought your pitch was very crisp, and at least there was a purpose to it at the end, so it's good, refreshing. I think, I mean, you asked a question that was related to the question I was going to ask, is how much good enough raw material do you have today to really provide the level? I mean, I haven't seen anything, which is one of the limitations of this exercise. But the level of quality of what you provide at the end to the corporate user at the end. Is there today potentially a mismatch between the expectation and what you can really deliver?
Any person using intensely a photo app would beg to differ and say that they have great photos in their own iPhone that they can show. And I'm sure that will only increase with time as people have better and better cameras and the ability to post and share with higher bandwidth. Fotolia, for example, indexes about 17 million photos. That's what we index over 2.5 days. So even if I were to take the analogy of China for the Olympics and take the top 1% of the top 1%, I'm still looking at a heap of data that is going to be of very good quality.
I'd like to add something. Most of the time, the way they use our service is to create a much bigger experience than having a nice photo from Fotolia. It's maybe to run a contest on photos or like the Smile Spin project. So often the use case also generates the content itself.
I think it's a great idea.
Sherry?
Great pitch. Well done. I'm curious about the commission side of how exactly you make money. Can you explain how you make that and what your customers are doing and how that's scalable?
Yes. I'll do it simply on the screen because we thought that might come up. This is a message that we send out to authors who take interesting photos. The average click rate on Twitter is 7.6%. We get an average click rate of 52% on these messages. So people click on this link, and they took our broadband away. Yeah. No, but basically the idea is that people get a set of web pages that make it really, really easy to generate a contract from their mobile device, and they're often still taking part in the event as they're clicking. Those messages are automated, and the end-of-funnel conversion rate that we've experienced with a test on just about 15,000 photos is 25%. So we're fairly happy about the buy-in, which was, so yes, I want to get paid. Yes, I am the author of this photo. Let's do it. I can choose. Some authors came back saying, I'll do it for free. I don't want your money. Okay, let's go and do charity, but I actually want the money. We sent the messages to some very, very wealthy investors, and they always wanted the money.
And do you pass it on if it's free? Or do you still charge anyway, the person wanting to license?
No. If there's a Creative Commons license or that money is going to charity, we don't take any commission. And then Amazon credits and PayPal, those are the ones that have the highest conversion in our experience. Type in your email, we'll sort out details later. Anyway, I'll type in mine. And confirm that you really are the author and that you've read the terms of services that are in Blueprint there, all done. And then the option for the author is to preemptively license their future content, obviously, because we don't want to have to reach out every single time they take a good photo.
So what would you, if you were getting, how frightened do you think Getty Images should be at this stage? Are they one of your target acquirers, or what do you think of their model? Yeah.
We met them just about the day after we pitched at Seedcamp Week. They're an interesting company to talk to. I believe that they really do face the innovator's dilemma of having an already installed base of affiliate photographers taking very high quality content with a completely different angle on things, maybe a less real-time approach to many events. So there's a risk for them to all of a sudden be telling their story as a crowdsourced aggregation service, but they're definitely looking at this space and conscious of the fact that they have limited capacity to do all of this internally from a company that has a given past.
Any other questions? What stops someone from seeing that Twitter message and intercepting it, as it were, and clicking on it themselves?
Nothing. We don't really believe that there'd be a huge incentive for them to go and license a photo that's not theirs and not get the final payment, because obviously the email then sends to a link that actually needs to authenticate the photo and the account that it was posted with. So it's always open, then you can re-click it and refill it in if you were the real author, but you're the second one to click on it.
Awesome.
Technically speaking, with OAuth, you can always authenticate the guy at the end of the loop just with one click.
Very good. Well, that's great. Thank you very much. Well, that was teleported. Thank you.